Another thing you want to be able to do to develop your interpersonal skills is to avoid using certain types of language. I want to call it quirky language. It's language that draws attention to itself, but it doesn't necessarily attract the kind of attention you probably want. You might say a word and somebody looks a little funny after you've said it. Those are the words that I'm talking about. This type of language is usually attributed to a region where you grew up. An example of a quirky speech is "you betcha," or a couple of my personal favorites that I've actually heard, and this is where I live now, is "I'm fixin' to," which is used instead of "I'm going to" or "getting ready to." And I don't think this one can be topped. It's actually one of my favorites. "This computer is pumping mud." Now, obviously, this is not a part of everyday speech, but extreme examples to illustrate how quirky language can stand out and be a hindrance to providing professional customer service, as well as just quirky words or phrases becoming a part of the conversation that the customer remembers more than the service that they received. Mispronounced words is something else you want to be careful about. It's closely related to quirky language and once again usually attributed to where you grew up. I've recently been called out on a word that I realize I mispronounce, and it's the word measure. I like to say it measure, and I have to catch myself. Now, my mother may wash her clothes, but I wash mine. And she may visit Missouri, but I visit Missouri. So I'm fortunate that I grew up, however, in an area where our speech is very neutral in accent and dialect, but there's still a few words that slip by being passed down. Something else you want to be careful about in your speech, which is a part of interpersonal skills, is poor grammar. Fortunately, most people speak with proper grammar, but write with incorrect grammar. It just really stands out and hinders the conversation. As well, it just brings down the impression of your company. I have had many requests from other companies to teach grammar to their employees because it's such a widespread problem. So just be aware of this and listen to yourself, maybe even through some of the phone recordings that your company may do of you. It's good to listen in every now and then because that may be the only time you're going to catch these phrases and words.